everybody, Dean Young Home Tech. Hope you guys are doing good today. Heading home, had a pretty good day. Re-inspection and then a regular inspection for actually a renter who is looking to purchase the property that they're in, and they've lived there 7 years. So they know the house very well, and that was very helpful. It's always helpful. So anyway, about the post that I made about the roof, I want to explain myself because it's a lot easier to do on video. Those that know me know I've been doing repairs since 1994-ish, and you know, I started out doing apartment maintenance, and then I just slowly started building a painting company and turned to a carpentry, and then went to school to do electrical, sat and took the North Carolina State electrical exam, and I've just learned a lot over the years. And being when I first started out doing new construction stuff, punch stuff for GCs. And I laid a lot of floor. Majority of the stuff that I've done, I've always done by myself without a helper. I've had helpers over the years, but it's really hard to find anybody that wants to work or do a good job. They don't want to put a good effort into it. But I've had help over the years, but it's just nobody for long term. But so my whole point is, $400,000 house or not, but I'm just making it a note that this was a $400,000 house. And the reason that matters is because on a $400,000 house, you're buying that $400,000 house. You're not going to expect a cheap quality job. I mean, you're not going to expect a cheap quality job even on a $50,000 house or whatever. But if you understand what I'm saying, this is in a high-end neighborhood where there's probably an HOA, and even beyond that, listen, straight to the point. I mean, if somebody calls me and says, hey, we've had a roof leak, there's some damage, we had a home inspection, can you get this repaired? Which I've done, God knows how many times. I'm gonna let them know what I recommend, and if they don't want to do it the way that I want to do it, then I'm sorry, I'm going to move on to the next person. You know, I'm not going to do a subpar job and take their money and then later be called back or have people looking at my work and thinking, my God, he done a half-assed job. You know, you don't get referrals that way. You don't get recommended that way. You don't have people inquiring about you and wanting you to do stuff for them that way. So if somebody calls to have that repair done on the roof, then I'm going to make it look good, and I'm going to make it to where I'm happy. If my OCD starts tweaking, which I do have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I've taken medication for it for a long time, and I've got a lot of rituals that I've done over the years since I was like 15. So this is not a cop out or some new fad thing. It's true. And if my OCD starts tweaking, or if I feel like I don't have confidence, or I don't feel like the seller or the buyer is going to be happy with my work, then I'll just tear it back off and redo it, whether I lose money or not. I mean, honestly, I'm just not going to do a halfway job and then have people, the buyers, go and look at it and be like, what the crap is, no, what? I mean, and I agree 100%, man. I would not, it would not be acceptable to me. I mean, it actually needed a new roof, honestly. I mean, it was covered in moss everywhere, and moss is not good for the substructure of a roof. Moss is not good for a roof, period. Moss is going to continue to hold water and break down and grow, and it's going to add weight. It's going to just reduce the integrity of the whole roof, and it's not going to be a good outcome. So they decided, oh, we're going to patch these places where the inspector seen damage to the substructure, which I pointed out several different areas. And another thing this contractor did was they go into the roof, the substructure, and they tear it out, and they leave all the debris in the attic. I mean, a pile full of OSB just disintegrating, all rotted and moisture damaged or whatever. It's sitting in the crawl space. I mean, in the attic. It's like a pile of it, still there right now. Didn't even clean their mess up. Every job ever done, I'm going to make the place the same or better condition than I found it. I mean, you're in somebody's home. You're in somebody's home. You know, people pay a lot of money. They work hard and give somebody money to do a job which you would hope they would expect it to be the greatest job that they can get. I mean, not every job is going to be expensive, because let me tell you, the reason a lot of people use me is because my prices were fair, very fair. Sometimes just so cheaply fair. I mean, people couldn't believe they were so cheap. I scared some people, but the job they got, you know how many tips I got? You know how many Facebook posts I've done of tips of people giving me $20 here, $50 here, $100 here, consistently getting tips left and right, and referrals out the wazoo. I'm not bragging, I'm just letting people know that as a home inspector, when I go into a home to do the inspection, I'm going to look at it as if I'm buying that house, and if it's going to be acceptable to me or not, or if there's an issue within the scope or within the standards of practice of the North Carolina Licensing Board. And I will go, most of the time I do go beyond the SOP, because the minimum of the SOP, you're not getting a good inspection at all. And if I'd done an SOP inspection, I wouldn't be in business, because nobody would want to use me. So I go beyond the standards of practice. So you may think that I missed something that I did not, because it wasn't in the SOP. There's a lot of things that people don't understand about the SOP. There's a lot of things. If somebody actually reads the standards of practice, North Carolina Home Inspection Licensing Board, read on there what we're expected to do and what we're not, what we don't have to do. And you'd be amazed. One of the biggest is walking a roof or getting on a roof. 99.9% of the people think that you're supposed to get on the roof. I've got several different ways. I mean, I do have a ladder, and if it's a walkable roof, I'm going to get on the roof. But if it's got a good pitch to it, I'm sorry, I'm not going to. I've got binoculars. I've got a 30-foot Doka pole with a ferret camera that's just as good as a drone, that I could see so much with that. I mean, you'd be amazed at what I could see with that thing. That commercial building that I done, I raised my 30-foot Doka pole on this flat roof, and I got so many good pictures. I didn't even have to use a ladder. 30-foot pole extended up with the camera, and I could see everything from my phone. Awesome thing. But anyway, I don't like to argue with people, but if you're going to be in a profession, you want to give your best, 100%. If a client wants you to do something, I'll just kind of patch it up, man. We're selling a house. It don't matter what it looks like. No, I'm not going to do that. I want to give you a good quality job, because somebody's going to see this, and I don't want them throwing my name around for doing shoddy work. It's hard to it's just hard to receive that. I just don't understand anybody that would accept a client wanting substandard work or a cheaper job. I understand, like, there's cheaper grades of flooring, cheaper levels, and there's going to be different outcomes, but that's one thing. But the job you're doing with that cheap floor is another thing. The workmanship, the quality, and the time that you put into that floor is going to be one thing. They may say, we want to redo our floors, we just want something cheap, doesn't matter, you know, we're good, we're open to suggestions, blah blah blah. Okay, great, they're gonna have a cheap floor put in, but guess what, that installation is going to be top notch, I guarantee you. And I'll let them know that this floor has a so-and-so warranty, and my workmanship warranty is this, and you know, if there's an issue with the floor, then they're going to have, their warranty is going to be good, because if you install per the manufacturer's instructions and there's no issues, you do a good proper installation by the manufacturer's recommendations, then you've got a warranty there, and it should be accepted. But if you go in and do some halfway work on something, you're not going to get a warranty. I'm going to warranty my work regardless, no matter who it is, no matter what it is. People are paying you to do a job, and why would you want to do any less than a good quality job? I just don't get that. And as far as home inspectors missing things, yes, we do. I haven't got a lot of calls. And some things, people just didn't read their report and see something they thought I missed, or didn't note in my report that was there, that they didn't see it. I haven't paid for anything out of my pocket yet, but like I've told people before, if I miss something and I'm blatantly called out, I'm going to pay for it. Why wouldn't I? You know, that's your reputation. But I'm not going to be out here and be used as an example. Somebody make up some BS. We take a lot of pictures, we take a lot of videos that we store and that we have, that some buyers and sellers do not see, to protect ourselves in case something comes up. If we see something in the house that may be an issue later, this was this way when I was here, I'm gonna take a picture of that, or this was this way, I'm gonna take a video of this. Trust me, we know what we're doing, and we know how to protect ourselves. You know, we carry E&O insurance, we carry general liability insurance, and before we're insured, our insurance company wants to see our pre-inspection agreement, and they're not gonna do any underwriting unless you have a good pre-inspection agreement. Make sure you're covered 100%. So yeah, I mean, but like I said, even if I did miss something, you know, if I blatantly missed it, if there was no obstruction or anything noted in the report, yeah, I'm going to take care of it. But I'm going to investigate myself, or have somebody, a third party, go out and investigate before anything's done, because people are tricky, people are sketchy, and people get buyer's remorse. People decide they don't want this house. It don't look the same that did when I did my original walkthrough, or when the staging furniture was here. I just don't like this house now. Man, I gotta find some way to get out of this house, man. Home inspector missed this or that, or that's a major thing, he missed it, whatever. I'm not taking up for people, because we're only human, we do make mistakes, but that's different from what I'm talking about today, as far as the job that somebody got for a roofing repair, for re-inspection of a home. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, say what you will, I'm not going to argue with people, but I will stand up for what I believe. And you know, God gave me abilities, and I'm going to use them to the best. I do everything I do for God. So say what you will. I really don't care. Honestly, I don't care. As long as I know I'm doing right and doing right by my clients, I don't care what anybody else thinks, honestly. But you're not going to be referred. That's for sure. If I see somebody doing subpar work, and I know who these contractors were that done this roof, it wasn't a roofing company. I know that. So yeah, I know, I see receipts and they provide them all, and I see who does work all the time, and I know who to refer and who not to refer. So if you're out there and you're doing some subpar work and I do a reinspection or whatever, and I see your name on that list of vendors that done repairs on that house, I'm sorry, brother. Not going to happen today. That's why we'll only use top quality preferred contractors. And I know everybody has bad days, but you understand that there's a difference in having a bad day and a lot of bad days. People talk, and word of mouth and real estate travels so, I mean, you can be blackballed quicker than you can freaking blink. Agents are finicky, and a lot of them are hard to work with and hard to work for, but in the end, you got to think why they're doing that, because they're protecting their buyer, they're protecting their seller, and they want things to be right 100%. And the people they use, they expect the best from them. They don't want to use some subpar contractor, whether you're a home inspector, appraiser, or GC, or handyman, or whatever. I mean, who wants to have just an okay guy? Anyway, I'm done with my rant. Say what you will, though. Say what you will. I'm gonna get out of here. I am hiring a guy this week for the Raleigh market, and I've done several in that area. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. So I've got, here's an agent now from EXP that's out of that way. But so if you guys have any buyers in those areas, man, just let me know. 336-989-8185 or hometechnc.com. I mean, I'm not the best at everything. I do make mistakes. I'm only human. I'm not thinking or acting like I'm the greatest. I'm just letting you know that why would anybody expect substandard or a halfway job, period. You don't get referrals that way. You don't grow your business that way. So if you want to talk smack or talk back or whatever, go ahead, but it's the truth. And the truth shall set you free. I can't even talk. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. 336-989-8185 or hometechnc.com.